Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of the Belle Collective, Season 2, Episode 1. The Belle Collective is back, and I'm very excited about it. So let's get into it. We first see Latrice. Now, Latrice, she is the one that owns a very successful hair company or wig company. She was featured in Forbes magazine, and she's her claim to fame is the hair vending machines. I guess where you can swipe your card and your package of hair actually comes out of these vending machines, which I think is, it's absolutely genius. But I don't see these vending machines anywhere else or anybody talk about them. The only time that I see these vending machines is when I'm watching the Belle Collective and Latrice is mentioning them. She has a husband named Clifton who she calls Zaddy. He's 20 years older than her. So I'm assuming he's in his 50s and she's in her 30s. Zaddy has five children, five grown children, four of them boys and one daughter. And I think this is the first time that we actually have seen one of his kids because his daughter is there at their home. She's making breakfast for everybody. No, Latrice is making breakfast for everybody. And Latrice tells us that his children don't really see her as a stepmom or any type of like authority figure because she's not that much older than them. And she says that her relationship with his kids is a bit strained. She gets along with the daughter, but the daughter also really doesn't see her like a stepmom. The daughter sees her more like a homegirl. She got some enhancements. She lets us know that she did get some enhancements on top. She's very excited about, her new purchase. I don't remember her being, like extra small or anything like that last season, but she felt like she needed them. She got them and she loves them. And she calls them Mercy and Grace Jr. because Latisha, Latisha calls her boobs Mercy and Grace. So there's this discussion now about her and Zaddy having children. Clifton really, I can't call that man Zaddy with a straight face. So Clifton wants children and he brings that up to Latrice. And I guess this is something that they have discussed before. And Latrice is like, no, she doesn't want to have any children. She thinks that having a child will slow her down. And Clifton tries to tell her, no, it won't. You can just put the baby on your back and just keep it pushing. But she does not want to have any children. I'm thinking to myself, see, when couples who have been married for a while talk about children and they are not on the same page, I get very confused because I'm thinking that, when you decide to be with someone, when you decide to marry someone and be with them for the rest of your life, does the discussion of children not come up? Like, how can y'all be on completely different pages when it comes to children? Because he really wants them and she really doesn't. She says, you have enough kids. You already have five. You don't need any more. And then he tells her, well, I want children with you. So I'm not understanding why they're not in agreement with that. Did one of them say one thing when they got married or before they got married and now they've changed their mind? That's understandable. And if you changed your mind, yeah, I think you should respect the person who changed their mind because why would you force someone to have a child that they really didn't want? It wouldn't be fair for the baby. Moving on to Latisha. She is Miss Boss Lady 2022 or 2021, whenever this was recorded. Latisha, she's out there making us believe that she is doing very big things. The whole situation with Farish Street, I guess, really didn't pan out. She couldn't find enough sponsors or any sponsors. So I guess that's being put on the back burner. I don't know if she's still working on that. Now, she is staying with her mom currently because her and her husband, Demond, are separated. They had gone through some issues, some infidelity issues on Glenn's part. Glenn is her husband. And I guess it just got too much for her and they separated. Now, at the reunion from last season, she did talk about how Glenn had fathered a child outside of their marriage. And she said the affair happened 8 years ago. But now she tells us that I guess he's been unfaithful. Obviously he's been unfaithful recently because Glenn looks like the kind of guy that doesn't know how to be faithful. He doesn't know how to keep it in his pants. He just looks like walking infidelity to me when I look at Glenn. So Latisha and Glenn, their whole story to me proves that no matter how good you are to your man, and no matter how you present your situation to the world. A man, if someone I'm going to say a man because in this situation it was Glenn that cheated. A man is going to do what a man is going to do. If he wants to cheat on you, he's going to cheat on you. It doesn't matter how much you cook for him, how fast you drive home to make sure there's a hot meal waiting for him. It doesn't matter what woman you pull out of the closet to come sing for him, which he probably hooked up with her later because I do remember last season for his birthday, she hired some chick to come sing a song for him. And the girl was very attractive. And I always wondered, did he try to hook up with her after the song was said and done? Because I feel like he probably did. Latisha, her and Glenn, they did that whole scene. I think it was in the finale episode where he reproposed to her in front of everybody. They make it seem like their relationship was just so perfect, but Glenn looks like walking infidelity. He looks like someone who he can't even go to the corner store to pick up a gallon of milk without cheating. He just looks like that to me. So I don't even understand how they made it this long or how she's, made it. And I think she's always known or she's always had suspicion, but she just kind of put it to the side until she got on this damn show. And I guess she got a lot of feedback from the audience. And maybe they kind of made her feel some kind of way, like stupid for staying with someone like Glenn. So right now they are separated. He was, when he reproposed to her, he was cheating around. At that moment he was cheating because supposedly he was texting somebody that same night that he reproposed to Latisha. He's got it bad. So Latisha starts crying, in her confessional and in her mother's kitchen, talking about Glenn because she says that she just wants her old family back. Girl, what old family are you talking about? He's been cheating on you since day one. Do you mean you want to go back to the delusion that you were living, to the fake reality that you were living with Glenn? Because Glenn, I feel like, has been cheating on her since day one, and I don't think he stopped. And what do you want to go back to? He's always been. At what point in your marriage was he not cheating? Like when he's sleeping? I don't understand what you're talking about, Latisha. Then we meet Marie again. Okay, Marie, she's the one that is taking care of her son and all of his children. He's got like 4 kids or something, and she's taking care of all of her grandkids because her son at last season. I don't know about now, but last season 1, her son was wilding out. He was out there running the streets, making babies. Make a baby, bring it back home to his mother. Make another baby, bring it back home to his mother. So she had her hands full. She had her own business. She had these grandkids. I think her son was away at college at the time. He was going to college. So he wasn't living in the home, but he was tearing her home up because he punched a hole in the wall when he came home and was arguing with his mother. And then she also was dealing with a philandering husband because it came out that I think he was also unfaithful. But now her and her husband, what's his name? They're separated. I forgot his name. So they're even separated. Now she's living with her kids and her mom. Her mom has a serious addiction, so she's taking care of her mom as well. Now, Marie tells us that her business has been booming. Business has been great for her. She has opened several clinics. She's got a methadone clinic, a rehab clinic. She's got clinics upon clinics upon clinics. So her business is going extremely well. She's still partnering with Essie. Essie is still her business partner and I think her best friend. She reiterates to us in this episode that there's nothing going on between her and Essie other than the business, because everybody has speculation that they were lovers because they were close, but there was some on Essie's part, especially, maybe not so much on Marie's part, but Essie gave this impression last season that she was like secretly in love with Marie, like she was battling some serious feelings for Marie, and it seemed like she was trying to get Marie away from her husband so that she could have Marie to herself. That's just what it seemed like to me. But Marie says ain't nothing going on there. Tambra. Now Tambra is the one that she's the radio host. And and she's also trying to have a baby, and she's trying to have a baby with an old flame. When we saw them last season, her his name is Demond. Her and Demond had reconnected. They used to date years ago or something. I couldn't quite understand, or I don't quite remember if they dated years ago and then they reconnected trying to have a baby, or were they always friends with benefits and now she's trying to have a baby with him. I don't really remember, but Demond was a guy from her past. He came back, I guess, I don't know, and they're trying to have a baby. Now she's also, in addition to being the radio host, she's also selling tea. Okay, so that is the summary of everybody. And of course, there's also some new people that we're going to be meeting. So Latisha is at her office and her friend Taisha comes over, and they start talking about, I think they were talking about, Latisha's planning something. These people are always on these reality TV shows, are always planning events. She's planning some type of an event, and she's inviting all the girls. And Taisha asks her, "Are you also going to be inviting Tambra?" And Latisha's like, "Yeah, of course I'm going to invite Tambra." So then, moving on from there, we see Tambra. She's at the fertility clinic with Demond. She talks about her fibroids. She had a very serious problem with fibroids. I was probably preventing her from, I don't think it was preventing her from getting pregnant, because she said that she's always had protected sex. So she's never had unprotected sex. So she just, now that she wants a baby, she has to get rid of her fibroids. She thought she had 4, but when she went for her operation, the doctor removed 29 fibroids. Tambra gives us a PSA saying that, fibroids affects many women. It's a very common problem, and it's even more common among the African American community. So, we get back to Latisha and Taisha at Latisha's office, and Taisha tells, is it Taisha or Taisha? Taisha tells Latisha, that the guy that she's been seeing somebody, she's been dating somebody. The reason why she feels some kind of way about Tambra is because the guy that she's been seeing is Demond, which is the guy that Tambra is also seeing, and who's she's trying to have a baby with. And so Latisha was like, "What?" And I wonder, I hate talking about, what's going on behind production, because I just want to experience the show for what they show us on TV. And I don't want to think about what's going on behind the scene. But I really have to wonder, if Taisha and Latisha are as close as they are, why would Taisha wait until they start recording to tell Latisha about her affair with Demond? You would have thought that that would have been something that she would have already told Latisha. And if she had already told Latisha, I guess Latisha did a really good job in acting surprised, because I feel like this is something that these two women would have shared a long time ago. Moving on. Latrice, she is planning her tea party, but she doesn't like tea. And so, okay, she doesn't like tea and she doesn't like crumpets. So instead of tea, she's going to be serving alcohol. And she actually has Asian women serving the tea. I thought that might have been a bit problematic. We meet her friend Soguchi. Soguchi is a real estate agent. She is a firecracker. She's a real estate agent. She's also a fitness instructor. She's very successful in Mississippi. She sold over $1 million worth of real estate the previous year. She's married. She says she's got the finest man. She said that she's got the best of everything, the best husband, the best job, the best house. She's got it going on like that. So at the tea party, the people that are invited to Latrice's tea party are Latisha, Tambra, Soguchi, and Latrice's publicist. Marie was not invited because we know that Latisha and Marie, they have some serious beef. The previous season, Marie shaded Latrice. Marie shaded Latrice's product, her wigs. She shaded it, said that it was really poor quality. And then at the reunion, Marie accused Latrice of accusing her of Medicaid fraud. So Latrice and Marie don't see it for each other. So at this tea party, Um, Latisha asks Tambra if she is still with Demond. And Tambra says, yes, we're still together. We're still trying to have a baby. And she says that she wants to get married before having a baby with Demond. So that confused me even more because why are you at the fertility clinic if you're not ready to have a baby? And y'all are talking about having a baby. And last season, you even pulled out that little cup because you wanted his specimen, but you want to be married first. So y'all are not looking at, we don't see, there's no footage of y'all looking at rings, wedding dresses, wedding venues. It's just footage of y'all going back and forth to this fertility clinic. So Tambra tells the women that she and Damon have always had protected sex. So she doesn't even know if she even has a fertility issue. I guess I think that's what she was trying to say. And so she said that they've never had unprotected sex. It's always been protected. And Latrice does not believe that. She says the math ain't mathin'. She really doesn't believe that that's the truth. So Latrice wants to know if no, Latisha then talks about, so Latisha keeps on asking Tambra about Demond. Asking her, is she sure that she wants to be with Demond? Is this the guy that's right for her, etc., etc. Then Latisha talks about her own infidelity issues with her own husband, Glenn. She says that Glenn had cheated on her 8 years ago, or maybe she was trying to say he had a baby 8 years ago, because she keeps on talking about 8 years ago, but honey, Glenn has never stopped cheating. So I guess she's talking about him having this baby 8 years ago. And so she wants to find out if Glenn's love child is actually his biological child. And she said that if it is his biological child, she's going to help take care of it. She says that that's very unusual and she understands that, but she wants to take care of his love child. You want to take care of his love child, but you don't want the man? Like, I'm very confused. You don't want Glenn back, but you want to take care of his kid? So, moving on from there. Latisha is at her office. Glenn pops up with flowers. Glenn is on this campaign to get Latisha back into his life. So, they go inside, they talk about the office first. She asked him, are you proud of me? He said yes. And she's like, are you really proud of me? He was like, of course I'm proud of you. So then they start talking about their relationship. Glenn tells Latisha he wants her to come back home. He's like, stop playing these games. You're my wife, the mother of my son. Bring your butt back home. And she's like, nope, I can't do that right now because you cheated on me. You even were texting another woman on the day that you reproposed to me, so no, you're not ready to be the man that I need you to be. And so we're not going to get back together. You need to get your whole ways completely out of your system. And then he says something to her that I thought was really, really strange. When she said to him, you're out there, raw dogging it, putting me at risk, making babies out there. Like, how could you do that to me, Glenn? And Glenn says, that has nothing to do with me and my family. You out there raw dogging strange women's got nothing to do with your relationship with your wife. Like, what are you talking about, Glenn? You see, if he believes that, if Glenn really believes the words that are coming out of his mouth, that it's a lost cause. Latisha, it's a wrap. Don't even worry about it no more. Just move on. Get your divorce and just move on. Because he thinks that him raw dogging other women has nothing to do with his relationship with his wife, which in effect has nothing to do with his family. If you and your wife are separated and having marital issues and your son is affected, it has everything to do with your family. So Latisha says she wants to know, did he love this other woman or these other women? Did he have any feelings for them? And what made him feel so comfortable to raw dog them and then come back to her? And she's like, Glenn, tell me the truth. The truth ain't in him. Glenn is one of those people where he will sit there, look at you dead in your face, deep in your eyeballs, and tell you, I will never cheat on you again. You are the only woman for me. I am done with the streets. I'm done living that life. I'm ready to be a one woman. He will do whatever he needs to do to convince you that that's how he is right now. But honey, it couldn't be further from the truth. He'll sit there and tell Latisha that, make her all kinds of promises, do whatever, climb the highest mountain, swim the widest ocean, just go through all kinds of stuff to prove to Latisha, I've changed. I'm not that way no more. Look, watch me delete all these numbers. Watch me delete my social media. Watch me call my host and tell them, to F off. Watch me. And as soon, the words are not even completely out of his mouth, he's back to cheating. He's back to hoeing around. That's the kind of guy that Glenn is. It is so deep in his blood. And I'm wondering if Glenn is one of those old school kind of guys where his pappy cheated, his grandpappy cheated. He's got half siblings upon half siblings upon half siblings all over the state of Mississippi and beyond, because the men in his family, they don't know, they just don't know how to behave. And I'm wondering if if he comes from that line of men, because he kind of seems like he does. Latisha, move on, girl. Please move on. Don't be like that Latisha of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Be a new and improved Latisha. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, rate the video, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.